Good afternoon. Please take your seats. The inauguration and investiture will begin in 10 minutes. Please silence your cell phones at this time. Thank you for taking your seats. The inauguration and investiture will begin in just a few minutes. Please silence your cell phones. Thank you. This event is being live streamed for audience members who are unable to join us today, and this event will be recorded. And now, welcome to Pacific and the beautiful Knoles Lawn, the site of many meaningful ceremonies, including new student welcomes, commencement and hooding ceremonies, as well as the launch of the Leading with Purpose campaign, complete with fireworks launched from the top of iconic Burns Tower, located just behind us. Guests on this lawn have been witness to moments from the naming of the Eberhart School of Business to the placement of a plaque recognizing the impact that a Pacific faculty member's personal outreach had on the life of one student. This lawn and the beautiful Rose Garden have been the backdrop to many important Pacific moments, and today we celebrate another moment that will live on in Pacific's history. Founded in 1851 as the first institution of higher education in the state of California, Pacific is a comprehensive university with 10 schools and colleges that offer a rich tapestry of educational opportunity with nearly 100 degree programs and areas of study. Pacific is ranked among the top 100 universities in America and the top 20 in the West. Pacific provides a personalized learning environment and a truly student-centered experience. Representative of that student focus, University Marshal Dr. Elizabeth Basha is followed by Pacific students who are active in many different ways throughout Pacific. Leading the students who are processing today as representatives of the full student body are government officers and senators from the Associated Students of University of the Pacific, otherwise affectionately known as ASUOP. And following the formal student leadership, representatives are members of Pacific's NCAA Division I athletics program, with 17 intercollegiate sports teams and more than 300 student athletes. Our Pacific Tigers are proud members of the West Coast Conference. Also processing today are members of registered student organizations, equity programs, resident assistants, student ambassadors, honor societies, fraternities, and sororities, as well as service clubs and more. With over 150 student organizations, including 11 social fraternities and sororities and 15 professional fraternities, Pacific is proud of the breadth of opportunity for leadership and engagement experiences that transcend the classroom. Student organizations offer opportunities to create community, find and build cultural connections and competencies, explore interests in the arts, music, dance, and sports, as well as serve each other and the communities in which we live and work, all while having some fun. Entering now are deans, faculty, and emeriti faculty of Pacific's academic divisions. Banner colors symbolize the academic disciplines, and the white print symbolizes the arts and letters, which form a basis for all academic programs of the university. The year in which each academic program was founded is displayed on each banner. College of the Pacific, founded in 1851, is the oldest and largest academic unit at Pacific. The college offers programs in the natural sciences, social sciences, humanities, fine arts, and performing arts, as well as a number of interdisciplinary programs. In 2012, the School of International Studies became part of the college. Founded in 1987 as the first undergraduate school of international studies on the West Coast. It is now the Center of International Education in the College of the Pacific. The University Libraries, founded in 1851, provides curated resources, learning spaces, and professional expertise to support information discovery and knowledge creation. The generosity of the Rogers family recently enabled a stunning renovation of the William Knox Holt Memorial Library and the Student Academic Support Hub. In addition to supporting learning, teaching, and research programs in Stockton, Sacramento, and San Francisco, the university's special collections and archives preserves and shares the work of famed naturalist John Muir and the former mayor of San Francisco, George Moscone. The libraries actively engage students in curating and producing information from these and hundreds of other collections documenting the culture and history of California. Founded in 1878, Pacific's Conservatory of Music is the first to be established in the West. The conservatory's leaders and innovators include American composer Howard Hanson and legendary alumni Iola and Dave Brubeck. Today, our graduates innovate at Apple, Facebook, Google, and Universal Music Group. They perform with the San Francisco Opera and at New York City's Jazz at Lincoln Center. Some work behind the scenes with the Los Angeles Philharmonic and the Aspen Music Festival, and thousands serve their communities as leading scholars, educators, composers, entrepreneurs, and music therapists throughout the United States. The Arthur A. Dugoni School of Dentistry, founded in 1896, is nationally renowned as one of the leading dental schools in the country. The school has earned a reputation for the highest standards of clinical excellence, patient care, humanism, and the active leadership of its graduates in the profession of dentistry. In 2004, the school was named in honor of the beloved and philanthropic late Dean Emeritus Art Dugoni. Founded in 1924, University of the Pacific's McGeorge School of Law has become an internationally recognized leader in legal education and a leading authority on public and international law. Ranked 8th nationally in trial advocacy, the school recently announced a $25 million philanthropic commitment from an alumnus to support its advocacy program and for scholarships for first-generation students and students of color. The gift is the largest in the law school's history, among the top 15 given to a U.S. law school and the third largest to a California law school. Founded in 1924 as a school of education when the university moved to Stockton, Bennard College was renamed in 1993 in honor of a generous benefactor, Gladys L. Bennard. The school was expanded in 2020 to include University College, founded in 1979. The merger created a college which offers bachelor through doctoral degrees, professional and continuing education. The Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy, founded in 1955, is known for offering the first 3-year accelerated Doctor of Pharmacy program, and their alumni who are leaders in the profession. The generosity of the Long family and affiliated foundations led to the naming of the school in 2001. The School of Engineering and Computer Science, founded in 1958, is nationally recognized for its cooperative education program, supporting every student in securing a hands-on work experience, as well as scholarships and industry mentoring during their undergraduate years. The Eberhart School of Business, founded in 1977, is top-rated in teaching by AACSB accreditation teams, and most recently has been ranked #1 among business schools in the West at universities with less than 7,000 students. The Eberhart School conducts extensive community outreach through its Center for Business and Policy Research, Center for Entrepreneurship, the Westgate Center for Management Development, and the Institute for Family Business. The school was named in honor of Robert M. Eberhart and the Eberhart family in 1995. Built on Pacific's long-standing reputation for educating healthcare professionals, the School of Health Sciences was founded in 2020 and features innovative curricula, accelerated programs, extensive experiential learning, and clinical training for all students. Following our schools and colleges are representatives of the Pacific faculty. We celebrate Pacific's teacher scholars and the impact our beloved faculty make in the lives of our students. Faculty engagement and mentoring of students is a rich tradition and a hallmark of a Pacific education. Delegates from other higher education institutions are now entering in the order in which their institutions were founded. We welcome representatives from University of Tennessee, founded in 1794. University of San Francisco, founded in 1855. University of Maryland, founded in 1856. Arizona State University, founded in 1885. Montclair State University, founded in 1908. And Humboldt State University, founded in 1913. Although unable to join us today, many institutions sent letters of welcome and well wishes. One such letter, which was especially meaningful to President Callahan, was from President of Arizona State University, Michael M. Crow. Here's a brief excerpt from that letter. You know that you have one purpose: make the university have a greater impact and shape more lives. You are a fantastic leader, deeply committed to social transformation through teaching, learning, and discovery. Thank you to the delegates who have joined us today and the many institutions that sent acknowledgments of this very special day. Entering next are the academic and administrative officers of Pacific. They are followed by current members of the University Board of Regents wearing robes with orange velvet and former members of the board. Also processing today are speakers representing students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community leaders. And now, carried by Pacific's chair of the Academic Council, the University Mace represents the authority given to the university to grant degrees and is displayed at all official university functions. Today, the Mace also symbolizes the transfer of authority to the man entering now. Please welcome Pacific's new president, Christopher Callahan. Thank you. Please be seated. Welcome to the inauguration and investiture of University of the Pacific's 26th President, Christopher Callahan. Honored guests, students, families, and friends, please welcome the Pacific Board of Regents Chair, Norman Allen.
Good afternoon and welcome. As a proud graduate of College of the Pacific and the McGeorge School of Law, it's my honor and truly a pleasure to be with all of you today as we mark the formal investiture of authority for our 26th President of University of the Pacific. This is a momentous occasion and one for which we have waited to celebrate for more than a year. I think you'll all agree with me as we sit in this beautiful setting on Knoles Lawn that it was worth the wait. 2 weeks ago, we celebrated with students, parents, alumni, and friends during Pacific Roars Back. We watched over 700 graduates from the classes of 20 and 21 walk across this very stage. We saluted representatives of the classes of 1970 and 1971 who celebrated their 50th reunion. And now, today, we celebrate Pacific's 26th president. To help us begin this historic ceremony, please stand as you are able for the invocation and remain standing for the national anthem. I invite our Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Mary J. Wardell Giardisi, an alumna from the class of 1989, to offer the invocation.
A university presidency is the ultimate act of service. On this occasion of the investiture of Christopher Callahan as the 26th president of the University of the Pacific, we offer a blessing for his leadership and service. May you have the grace and wisdom to act kindly, learning to distinguish between what is personal and what is not. May you be hospitable to criticism. May you never put yourself at the center of things. May you act not from arrogance, but out of service. May you work on yourself, building up and refining the ways of your mind. May those who worked for you know you see and respect them. May you learn to cultivate the art of presence in order to engage with those who meet you. When someone fails or disappoints you, may the graciousness with which you engage be their stairway to renewal and refinement. May you treasure the gifts of the mind through reading and creative thinking so that you continue as a servant of the frontier, where the new will draw its enrichment from the old. May you never become a functionary. May you know the wisdom of deep listening, the healing of wholesome words, the encouragement of the appreciative gaze, the decorum of held dignity, the springtime edge of the bleak question. May you have a mind that loves frontiers so that you can evoke the bright fields that lie beyond the view of the regular eye. May you have good friends to mirror your blind spots. May leadership be, for you, a true adventure of growth. Now, a university presidency is not a solo act. As a matter of fact, the role of one's partner is important in countless and unseen ways. Jean Callahan, First Lady and spouse of President Christopher Callahan, is also entering leadership and service to this university, and she actively shares in the care and support of the Pacific community. To acknowledge their joint roles, their service and their love for each other and for Pacific, we'd like to offer a prayer and blessing for the Callahans. Nothing is more practical than finding God, than falling in love in a quite absolute and final way. What you are in love with, what seizes your imagination, will affect everything. It will decide what you do to get out of the bed in the morning, what you do with your evenings, how you spend your weekends, what you read, whom you know, what breaks your heart, and what amazes you with joy and gratitude. Fall in love, stay in love, and it will decide everything.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, as performed by members of Pacific's Conservatory of Music Symphonic Wind Ensemble and Pacific Singers, under the direction of Vu Nguyen, class of 2000. You may be seated as we hear from University of the Pacific's Provost, Maria Pallavicini.
It's always so wonderful to hear our conservatory performers, isn't it? Let's thank them again for sharing their talents. So good afternoon. I'm Maria Pallavicini, Pacific's Provost and Chief Academic Officer. I have the pleasure and honor of making a few remarks about our president, but most importantly, I have the privilege of working with him. When the former board chair asked me to serve as interim president during academic year 1920, I agreed on the condition that they land a new president within a year. And our board certainly did not disappoint. Not only did the board conduct an extensive national search, but they successfully recruited Chris Callahan to the position, a transformational leader with energy, enthusiasm, passion, vision, and a laser focus on what is needed to move Pacific forward. Once announced, the university community was delighted to learn that Chris would be joining us in July 2020. But let me take you back to early 2020, when COVID hit with a vengeance in February. We sent our students home. Our faculty made remarkable transitions to online learning, and our staff and leadership worked tirelessly and creatively to provide a quality student experience from afar. During those early months of uncertainty, I remember hoping that Chris would not change his mind. But during that time, we had frequent phone calls, some visits, and both of us thought that in a few short months, we would be celebrating his inauguration. In anticipation, Chris willingly and eagerly stepped in during May to assist in what I call all things COVID, which includes considering potential enrollment and budget scenarios and university's community health and safety considerations. We had many conversations about supporting students, our faculty, and our staff during the COVID period. And at the same time, Chris was providing his perspective and guidance as the university prepared for the coming year. I'm immensely grateful to Chris for joining me in helping to manage the university during those early COVID times in my interim presidency. I could not have asked for a better colleague in transitioning from interim presidency back to provost in the heart of academics, which is my passion. Chris formally took the reins in July of 2020. As COVID persisted, none of us could have predicted, in ways none of us could have predicted, Chris postponed this ceremony so that Pacific could continue to focus all of its energies on serving our students during such unique and challenging times. During the summer and fall of 2020 and the spring of 21, for 18 months, Chris and Jean lived on a campus that was nothing like what either had imagined when they accepted the position. Yes, those grounds continued to be beautiful, but the buildings were closed, and the campus was devoid of what makes Pacific so special: its faculty, its staff, and of course, our students. A situation no one could have predicted. Yet, in his optimistic and enthusiastic manner, Chris worked tirelessly to make connections with faculty and staff, current students, prospective students, and parents and alumni, and members of our surrounding community. He held over 1,500 Zoom meetings during those 18 months. Now, Chris did not come alone. Jean Callahan, the First Lady, is not only his most ardent supporter and fan, but shares his passion and commitment to Pacific, to our students and our employees. Jean's enthusiasm for Pacific can be felt in every conversation and event where she warmly welcomes our students, alumni, and employees as extended members of her family. Jean's generosity and heartfelt commitment to this university are truly unmatched. As the university community started the new year of 2021, albeit still by Zoom, we all looked forward to meeting the newest member of the Callahan family, Callie, the beautiful retriever, and what adventures Callie is having. We also learned of campus enhancements awaiting us, from the Tesla solar panels to a safe in Burns Tower, unlocking documents from Pacific's original founding in 1851 as California's first chartered university of higher education. It was clear very early on that the Callahans transcended Zoom, uniting all of us around our shared passion for Pacific. Our 26th president, Chris Callahan, is a transformational, innovative, and focused leader with a vision for Pacific to become the best comprehensive university in the nation within 10 years. President Callahan, know that we are all by your side to make that vision a reality. I'm honored here to introduce my valued colleagues and the special individuals who are seated here on the platform party. Please hold your applause until the entire platform party is introduced. Beginning with the front row from your left, please rise as I call your name and remain standing. The Honorable Kevin Lincoln, Mayor of the City of Stockton. Paul Subar, please hold your applause. Chair of the Academic Council and Professor and Chairperson of Diagnostic Sciences at Degoni School of Dentistry. Randy Hogan, class of 2021, past president of the Associated Students of University of the Pacific. Jean Callahan, First Lady of Pacific. Christopher Callahan, President. Norm Allen, class of 88 and 94, Chairman, Board of Regents. Scott Cooper Wilson, class of 22, President of the Associated Students of University of the Pacific. Denise Fitzgerald, Chair of the Staff Advisory Council, and Lenore Smith, class of '86 and '87, President of the Pacific Alumni Association. You may be seated. We have many special individuals joining us today, including our current officers of the Board of Regents, as well as former board chairs and our President Emeritus. I'm honored to introduce them today, and I now ask them to stand and be recognized. Please rise as I call your name. Diane Filibosian, class of '67, former board chair. Kathleen Jansen, class of '68, former board chair. Pamela Ibeck, President Emeritus. Janet Spears, class of '86 and treasurer, Board of Regents. Mary Elizabeth Eberhardt, class of '76 and '80, vice chair, Board of Regents. Nava Fati, class of '95, secretary, Board of Regents. Kevin Huber, class of '86, former board chair. And Tom Zeckerman, class of '64, former board chair. You may be seated. Our respected deans are seated in the next row. Deans, would you please rise as I call your name and remain standing? Rena Fraden, Dean of College of the Pacific. Peter Whitty, Dean of the Conservatory of Music. Nader Nadershahi, class of '94, '99, and '11, Dean of the Arthur A. Degoni School of Dentistry. Michael Hunter Schwartz, Dean of the McGeorge School of Law. Patricia Campbell, Dean of Bennard College. Ray Matsumoto, Dean of the Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Elizabeth Orwin, Dean of the School of Engineering and Computer Science. Louis Gale, Interim Dean of the Eberhardt School of Business. And Nicoletta Bagnariou, Dean of the School of Health Science. You may be seated. And finally, my fellow cabinet members are also seated. Please rise as I call your name and remain standing. Scott Biederman, class of '05 and class of '20, Vice President for University Development and Alumni Relations. Maria Blandisi, Vice President for Student Life. Chris Ferguson, Vice President for Strategic Enrollment. Marge Gray, Associate Vice President for Strategic Communications. Janet Lucas, Athletics Director. Ken Mullen, Vice President for Business and Finance. And Art Sprecher, Vice President for Technology and Chief Information Officer. And Mary Wardell Giarduzzi, class of '89, Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. You may be seated.
Thank you, Provost Pallavicini. And now let me welcome some other special guests and supporters of the university who are in the audience today. We have elected officials, emeriti faculty members, regents and former regents, students, media, parents, donors, alumni, and many other friends of the university. You are here because you are part of our university community and because you care about higher education. Thank you all for coming. As chair of the Board of Regents, I extend a special welcome to my fellow regents of the University of the Pacific. Members of the board are seated in front of the stage wearing distinctive black and orange regalia. Please stand so that we may recognize you collectively. Thank you for joining us. Also present today are former board members. Please stand so that we can recognize you as a group. Thank you for joining us. I also extend special greetings to the distinguished delegates present here from our sister institutions across the nation, as well as our faculty. Among the delegates from other colleges and universities, we are honored today to have visiting presidents and other representatives from California and beyond. I welcome also the elected officials and other civic leaders from Stockton and our surrounding communities who have joined us here today. And finally, I extend greetings to the university community, to the students, to the faculty, to the staff, to the administration, to the alumni, parents, and donors joining us in this important ceremony, full of pageantry and meaning. Thank you all for what you do for this university and helping us create a thriving university community. So this is an historic event in the long history of the University of the Pacific. The traditions of academic ceremony have brought us together in this event filled with pageantry and symbolism. One of the traditions of the inaugural ceremony is the offering of formal greetings to the new president from constituencies of the university. We have 4 such representatives to offer welcomes today, including students, faculty, staff, and alumni, as well as a welcome from our broader regional community. Before the first greeting is shared, permit me to tell you a brief story. You see, I stood in the shoes of our next speaker when I was a senior here at Pacific in 1988. As student body president, I had the privilege of offering a welcome during the inauguration of the 22nd president of Pacific, Bill L. Atchley. And now I invite forward a speaker who represents the Pacific of today, the current president of the Associated Students of University of the Pacific, Scout Cooper Wilson, class of 2022.
Thank you, Norm. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for gathering here today to celebrate this pivotal moment for the University of the Pacific. This investiture is, of course, not the normal ceremony that would be held for an incoming university president. By now, President Callahan has been with us for 476 days, though if you ask him, he will say it has felt like years. I feel privileged to be able to speak today after already having the opportunity to work with President Callahan, seeing firsthand his dedication and passion for this university and its students. President Callahan did not have an easy start. He came to Pacific 4 months into an unprecedented pandemic and spent the first year of his term living on a campus where classes and work were remote. However, he hit the ground running, making tough choices to keep our community safe and finding ways to connect with the thousands of Pacificans he did not have the chance to meet in person. During my time working with and observing President Callahan, I have been impressed by his accessibility and his strength as a leader. He is constantly seeking avenues to talk with members of our community, particularly students, whether through forums, detailed email updates, social media posts, or even while walking around a women's soccer game, saying hello to everyone he sees. He has established himself as a confident decision maker, which is not easy to do when you're brand new at an institution. I believe he took some critical steps to start moving Pacific in the right direction, highlighting and expanding the aspects of this university that make it the place we all love. Our fantastic academic programs, world-class faculty, both in terms of their knowledge and their care for their students, hardworking staff that support student life outside the classroom, and indeed, our beautiful campus itself. Moving forward, I encourage President Callahan to continue prioritizing direct engagement with students, faculty, and staff when making his decisions. Combining his efforts to be accessible and his drive to create lasting, positive change at Pacific will be key in moving our institution towards his goal of making Pacific the best student-centric, comprehensive university in 10 years. President Callahan, I look forward to seeing where you lead this institution, which has made such an impact on me personally, as well as countless others. I'm honored to say that on behalf of our student body, I welcome and congratulate you, Christopher Callahan, as the 26th President of the University of the Pacific.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Offering remarks on behalf of the faculty and emeriti faculty is the Chair of the Academic Council, Dr. Paul Subar.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Paul Subar, Chair of the Academic Council and Chair of the Department of Diagnostic Sciences at the Degoni School of Dentistry, and a proud 2009 graduate of Bennard College. I'm delighted to join you here today for the investiture of our president, Chris Callahan, with whom I've had the absolute pleasure of working with since his arrival. The faculty of our 3 campuses are excited about the future of our great institution and ready to be part of the continuous growth and opportunities that lie ahead. The Pacific faculty care deeply about our university. Partnership, collaboration, and understanding one another is the way we get things done here at Pacific. Partnerships with our academic colleagues and students, collaboration across departments and schools, and understanding and celebrating the diversity that each of us brings to this great institution. These partnerships have led to developments and improvements in curriculum, in programming, in the development of new technologies, and in a greater understanding of the science and teaching of learning. The potential of every member of the Pacific family contributes great and immense opportunities to lead in academic achievement. President Callahan, on behalf of the faculty, active and emeriti at the University of Pacific, please accept our sincere congratulations on your investiture. You're at the helm of a rich tradition in California, and the Pacific faculty look forward to joining you on the promising future that lies ahead as we continue to grow this great university. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Subar. Next to offer a welcome is an individual that represents Pacific staff. Please welcome Ms. Denise Fitzgerald, Chair of the Pacific Staff Advisory Council.
Thank you. President Callahan, the staff of University of Pacific welcome you and your dedication to excellence in all we do here at the university. You have already included staff and staff leadership in much of your decision-making and have continued to recognize staff for their contributions to the success of this great institution. We are grateful to work with you and on the strategic mission and planning of the future of this first University of California. On behalf of more than 1,100 staff at University of Pacific, I congratulate and welcome Christopher Callahan as the 26th President of University of Pacific.
Thank you, Ms. Fitzgerald. Next to offer a welcome is an individual that in some ways represents Pacific's past. Alumni, however, are much more than an institution's past. They provide opportunities and help pave the way toward the future for our students and our institution. Please welcome Mrs. Lenore Smith, College of the Pacific Class of 1986 and 1987, President of the Pacific Alumni Association.
Thank you. Thank you, and good afternoon. As was mentioned, I have the good fortune of being a double Tiger, and I also have the great good fortune of having immediate family who are also Pacific graduates, my husband Scott, our son Clay, and daughter Christina. I even have an aunt and an uncle and a cousin who are graduates. So it is a family institution, and President and Mrs. Callahan, we welcome you to our family. President Callahan, the University of the Pacific extend our welcome to you and look forward to partnering with you to reach out to our alumni around the world. You have placed high priority on developing your relationship with Pacific students, faculty, staff, and alumni. And we stand ready as volunteers, donors, recruiters, and friends to collaborate with you to advance this phenomenal university. On behalf of 78,000 global alumni of the University of Pacific, I congratulate and recognize you, Christopher Callahan, as the 26th President of University of the Pacific. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith. Greetings on behalf of Pacific's valued regional communities. will be delivered by the Mayor of Stockton, the Honorable Kevin Lincoln.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor to be here with you all, and congratulations, President Callahan. The University of Pacific has been a gem in Stockton for many, many years. This university provides hope, provides opportunity, and it changes generations to come. 3 of the 13 largest cities throughout California call themselves home to the University of Pacific. And on behalf of those 3 cities and the mayors that represent those 3 cities and their colleagues on the council, I want to say on behalf of Mayor Breed from the city of San Francisco, Mayor Steinberg from the city of Sacramento, and myself, welcome to the University of the Pacific, and welcome to each and every one of our beautiful cities. I've had the opportunity to spend a few moments with President Callahan over the past several weeks, now that things have been opening up, and also prior to that over the phone. And one thing I could say about President Callahan is that his smile and his leadership is contagious. And I know the future is bright for the University of the Pacific, and it is an honor to partner with the University with UOP moving forward, and I know together we will do amazing things. God bless you, President Callahan, and we know that behind every great leader is an even greater partner, and thank you, Jean, First Lady, for making this journey as well. We are honored to have you both. God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor Lincoln. It's an honor to have you here with us. Thank you. We've now come to the time for which we've all been waiting, where the Board of Regents formally invests the new president. Before we do so, let me tell you a little bit about the new president, Christopher Callahan. Members of the Presidential Search Advisory Committee were excited by the passionate belief in students and the value in higher education that Chris expressed. I know that the search committee and the Board of Regents were inspired by his vision and by his energy, and that we're proud to have him here on this stage today, being presented for investiture as president of the university. At this time, I invite First Lady Jean Callahan and President Christopher Callahan to join me at center stage. Christopher Callahan, by action of the Board of Regents of the University of the Pacific, which I have the honor to represent, I publicly declare that you have been appointed to the position of President of University of the Pacific. I am pleased and proud to confer upon you all of the authority and responsibility of this presidency. May wisdom, fortitude, and good fortune be with you as you lead our beloved institution with passion for our students, honoring our past traditions while providing a compelling vision and tenacity to carry us toward a strong future. It is our pleasure to present you with the gold medallion, which represents both the authority and the weight of responsibility of the presidency. The university name, Jean has it in her hand here, the university name and founding year, 1851, as well as the flame of learning and laurel leaves of achievement are inset on the medallion to remind you of the values and aspirations of our founders. Engraved upon the reverse side of the medallion are the names of all of the previous presidents of the university, as well as your name, Christopher Callahan. The chain is adorned with black onyx and orange gemstones. Honored guests, I present the 26th President of University of the Pacific, Christopher Callahan.
And now, please stand as you are able and join our talented conservatory performers as they lead us in the singing of the alma mater, Pacific Hail.
Please be seated. President Callahan, some may say your first official day on the job represented a less than auspicious beginning. After all, it came in the middle of a global pandemic when the campus was empty and quiet, and not just for days, but for months. There were no students on campus, no staff or faculty in the buildings or on the grounds, and no Pacific welcome beyond the chimes of Burns Tower. Sure, there were some community members walking their dogs on campus, and a variety of Pokemon Go players at times, but it was not the Pacific experience or welcome that any of us had expected or planned. It's hard to imagine what it's like to have been a new president during such times, but I know there's one other person who does know how to imagine it, because she too lived that experience, and she'll speak in a moment. But first, I would note that the welcome and introduction of the president in a ceremony like this is a pivotal moment in this ceremony, usually done by a very special speaker, perhaps somebody of great notoriety and fame, or a long-time friend or mentor of the president. But President Callahan's choice for this introduction is different and speaks to his values. He has chosen Randy Holgan, class of 2021, and last year's other pandemic president, our 2020 student body president, to make the introduction. Randy?
Thank you, Regent Allen. President Callahan and I were both pandemic presidents. I kind of like that title. For both President Callahan and I, being called a pandemic president comes with the underlying connotation that we not only developed an insane amount of patience, but also creativity, resilience, and the ability to stay hopeful and lead with that same faith. For me personally, it was a great interview talking point as I was applying to jobs, but in all seriousness, being a leader through a pandemic taught me a lot about myself and what leadership really means. Upon first learning about our new president, a dean of journalism from ASU, my initial thought was that ASU was a party school and Pacific was going to turn into a party school. Nice. But in all seriousness, I was excited that we were getting a qualified candidate from a major school, hoping that he would bring big school energy to our quiet private university. Now, after meeting President Callahan, I wasn't far off from my initial thought of him bringing the party to Pacific. He is upbeat, excited, positive, and student-centered. One thing is for sure, the Pacific spirit will be amplified because of his arrival. During my tenure as ASCOP president, President Callahan and I would have virtual meetings, socially distanced lunches, and walks around campus, which were really special to me. He was always very intentional and personal about our meetings together, which as a student leader was very valuable to me. He would give me his undivided attention for an hour or so, sometimes more if Ashley or his schedule allowed it. And through those meetings, I quickly learned that President Callahan is truly a genuine person who values students. He valued me as a student leader and gave me the same respect and trust as one of his senior colleagues. He is not afraid to be humble and to let others shine. One of the many reasons why I loved working with him. It's not about the titles or the benefits, it's about the work that needs to be done. We shared very similar perspectives on leadership, the value of students, school spirit and traditions, as well as the enhancement of our Pacific campus and the Stockton community. When I spoke with President Callahan, he always made me feel empowered and heard. I think President Callahan is the definition of the right person at the right time for Pacific. There have been so many positive changes since his arrival, and I know even as an alum, because I know he has big plans to deepen our traditions, enhance school spirit, and add more value to a Pacific education. He is not afraid to lean in and take risks. He has a very entrepreneurial, fresh, and creative perspective. He embraces change and learns from it, which is needed now more than ever. He sees Pacific's potential and is driven to make it better, while also keeping the students at the core. He really understands that the students are the heart of the university. All while acknowledging that the university is also a business, he balances the success of the school and the needs of students. I have confidence that he came to Pacific to make us better, and we will be better because of him, and the leaders that he rallies together to lead that change. President Callahan as a person is an even better story to tell. On a personal note, I grew up low income and a brown woman from diverse neighborhoods, where respect is earned and not given. In our community, relationships, familia, and the community, we share our time and energy, which means a lot to us. We are not so easily impressed with the glitz and the glam of titles. What impresses me about any person I meet is the character, their word, their actions, and how they treat others that are different from them. Character earns respect in my book, and President Callahan had no difficulty in meeting that expectation. President Callahan and Mrs. Callahan had me over for dinner a few days before our virtual commencement, and one thing they probably don't know is that when I got home, I cried and my mom cried because of how special and highly they saw me. We were both so honored that I could make such an impact on them and the Pacific community. My mother and I could not have felt more honored and appreciated. I'm honored to call President Callahan one of my mentors that I respect and admire deeply. Being a student body president during a pandemic was not at all ideal, and at times was very challenging and isolating. But President Callahan made me feel encouraged, uplifted, and gave me the constant reminder that I was making an impact, even virtually, which meant more to me than he may know. I would like to leave everyone with one of my favorite quotes by Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. President Callahan, I look forward to seeing the impact that your leadership will continue to bring to the University of the Pacific and hearing your remarks today. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Randy Holguin was a superb student leader during what was the most difficult time in the 385-year history of American higher education. She helped lead us through the pandemic, and I am just so appreciative, and I was honored to serve with her. So thank you, Randy. I'd also like to thank our chair, Norm Allen. I like to think of Norm as the quintessential Pacifican, a double tiger, and the only Pacifican who has served as president of ASUOP, president of the Pacific Alumni Association, and chair of the Board of Regents. I will tell you, he works tirelessly every day on our behalf, and I couldn't imagine a better partner as we continue on this journey together. To our other regents and former regents who are here today, a truly stunning array of talented, smart, diverse, and passionate leaders who are focused on one thing: the success of our university. As are the university leaders you see behind me, the cabinet, our great deans, and our leaders representing students, faculty, staff, alumni, and our community. Great partners and leaders all. I'm proud to serve with you each and every day. Our last two presidents are here. Provost Maria Pallavicini, who selflessly served as our interim president, and Pam Ibeck, who tirelessly devoted herself to our university for a decade. I'm so appreciative of the efforts that they put in and that they are here today. Thank you. Speaking of former presidents, Don DeRosa and Karen could not be here today, but I can assure you they are watching from home in North Carolina. And I remain inspired by Don's call in his inaugural address, urging us to be pioneering and risk-taking. And I am grateful for his advice and his friendship. Jean and I would also like to thank our family, friends, neighbors, and colleagues who came from across the street and across the country to join us today. And yes, a very special thank you to our wonderful boys, Cody and Casey. And to answer your question, no, you are never too old for Dad to embarrass you publicly. So, thank you guys. And finally, to the entire community that makes up this amazing university, our students, our faculty, staff, alumni, and community leaders across all three of our campuses. You've made Jean and me feel so welcome. The University of the Pacific has truly felt like home from the first day we arrived, and we are so appreciative for that. Thank you. Nearly 2 years ago now, when the Regents named me as our 26th president, I was brimming with confidence over what we might be able to do together for Pacific and for higher education. Today, after having watched our regents and faculty, students and staff, alumni and donors respond to the global pandemic and respond with grace, empathy, creativity, and fierce determination, I am more confident than ever in our future. In my first State of the University address 6 weeks ago, I proclaimed a goal that many thought was rather audacious, perhaps even a bit arrogant, that within 10 years, University of the Pacific would be the best student-centric comprehensive university in the United States. Bold, perhaps, but I remain supremely confident that it is a goal well within our reach because of our great strengths, and our strengths lie with you, our people. And I firmly believe that our pathway to achieving this goal of being the best in class university will be to rely equally on the great traditions of California's first and oldest university, traditions and values that underscore our mission, combined with a bold spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship on how we move forward. In short, I believe our pathway, in short, I believe we need to preserve, protect, nurture, and grow our why, our purpose, our reason for being, while completely transforming our how we break down and break through barriers to innovation, how we embrace entrepreneurial thinking, and how we design our university to excel in a highly competitive 21st century higher education landscape. This blend of tradition and innovation is nothing new at Pacific. In fact, it is deeply embedded within our DNA. At Pacific, our tradition is innovation. Let's take a moment, if we could, and soak in today's beautiful setting here on historic Knoles Lawn. Amidst the majestic giant sequoias and American sycamores, we are surrounded by Pacific's history and rich traditions, iconic images of California's first university. But take a closer look, and you will also find our stories of breathtaking innovation. Behind me right here sits Knoles Hall, named in honor of our longest-serving president, Tully Knoles. The building, and those around it, the only use of collegiate Gothic architecture on a West Coast campus, conjures up images of the earliest traditional American college campuses found on the East Coast, steeped in tradition. Yet, it was President Knoles who was perhaps our ultimate innovator and risk-taker. He led a bold effort to physically move Pacific 70 miles from San Jose to here in Stockton nearly 100 years ago. Right across Knoles Hall, we see Burns Tower, a beacon for Pacificans and visitors alike for generations. The tower is named in honor of Robert Burns, who served as president for 24 years and drove transformational change with his call that we must pioneer or perish. Under President Burns, our university became independent. We created our School of Engineering and Pharmacy. We brought to Pacific the McGeorge School of Law in Sacramento and what is now the Arthur A. Degoni School of Dentistry in San Francisco. Our past successes have been built on this mix of tradition and innovation. And now, more than ever, our future success will be predicated on these dual themes. Our tradition starts with our mission to serve students and create the next generation of great leaders for California, for America, and for the world. Our mission, our purpose, our why is stronger and more important and more relevant today than ever before. We remain and we must continue to remain laser-focused on the success of our students. We provide a small college experience in a comprehensive university setting, the best of both of these educational worlds. We focus on and are expanding experiential learning opportunities, which combines deep learning while serving our great communities in critically important ways. We live by our values and principles of diversity and inclusion each and every day and pledge to become a national model in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Ultimately, our core foundation continues to be built on the extraordinary cadre of master teachers, working with students in small settings and personalized learning environments. I hear this over and over and over again for our alumni. That is what makes Pacific such a special place. We need to preserve, protect that mission and those core values. But at the same time, we need to dramatically change our how we go about running the university. We need to design programs and systems with the student experience always top of mind, looking at each challenge through the eyes of our students. We need to create new revenue sources to reduce our dependence on tuition. We need to develop new entrepreneurial partnerships, and we need to create fully online master's and certificate programs for lifelong learners, while at the same time redoubling our commitment to on-the-ground teaching for our undergraduates and many of our graduate and professional students. We need to streamline our far too often frustrating bureaucratic processes. We need to break down silos between and among us. We need to shed territorialism and turf protection. And we need to move collaboratively and transparently, but with a sense of urgency. And we need to do it all together. I am confident we will do all of that and reach our goal within the next 10 years. Well, why? What makes me so confident? First, we've already made tremendous progress in the past 16 months despite the global pandemic. And we are building upon an amazing foundation, and that foundation starts with our people. We have passionate, smart, diverse, and dedicated students. You've heard from two of them today, Scout and Randy. And of course, you've already heard the remarkably gifted students from the Conservatory of Music, the first Conservatory of Music established on the West Coast. We have inspiring faculty who change the lives of our students. Master teachers, such as Courtney Lehman, recognized earlier this year with the Hassenkamp Award by Phi Beta Kappa as being the best college professor in Northern California. Sasha Joseph Matthews, who just created a CEOs of Color in Residence program right there at our Eberhard School of Business. Alan Wong at the Degoni School, leading efforts to serve special needs communities across San Francisco and Northern California. Melissa Brown, who leads our seven community legal clinics at the McGeorge School of Law in Sacramento. Veronica Bandy of the Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy, who ran Operation Immunization. The only thing Veronica did was deliver more than 12,000 life-saving vaccines to students, faculty, staff, and many of our neighbors across all three campuses. And, yes, and my friend, Professor Gene Pearson, now in his 51st year of teaching at University of the Pacific and doing it better than ever. These are unbelievably gifted, passionate, and dedicated professors, and that is a great foundation upon which to build. We also have talented and dedicated staff, and we saw them on full display during the height of the pandemic. People like Scott Richardson and Tom Harper, police officers who, during the height of the pandemic, when all of our campuses were closed, took it upon themselves to give impromptu tours for prospective students and family members. Allison, it was fantastic. Allison Dumas, who has been focused on the success of Pacific students for 36 years and who is just as passionate about our students today as the day she started. Daniel Walker, who worked to make sure our iconic carillon in Burns Tower would continue to play for years to come, all the while awaiting the arrival of young Fox Benjamin Walker, now 3 weeks old. And then there's Kathy Wooten and Steve White, who between them have served this university with distinction for 43 years. Kathy and Steve led the efforts for today's ceremony, just days after hosting a record-breaking attendance for homecoming and 2 years' worth of commencement. These are truly extraordinary colleagues and a great foundation to build upon. We also have a strong, vibrant alumni base, as demonstrated just 10 days ago when we had a record 3,000 participating in our homecoming. That is the largest homecoming crowd in 25 years. And we have an unbelievably rich array of 24 talented, loyal, and dedicated regents led by Chair Allen, who are squarely focused on the success of our students and our university. Those are all great foundations to build upon. But I'm also confident that we will achieve our goal because I have already seen the great advances these teams have made in changing how we operate and doing that during unbelievably challenging times. Teams working together across disciplines and departments in new ways, all with the laser focus on the success of our students. Our great deans and faculty, working with Provost Pallavicini, are designing new plans to retain and graduate more of our students with new student success programming. Our student life team, led by new Vice President Maria Blandisi, is changing how we serve our students while creating a new Pacific spirit, really rekindling the spirit built by our friend and Pacific legend, Judy Chambers. We are redoubling our efforts to ensure that Pacific is a national model for diversity, equity, and inclusion under the leadership of our very first Vice President for DEI, Mary Wardell Giraduzzi. We are modernizing our enrollment operations to work across units, schools, and colleges to bring in even more talented and more diverse students under the leadership of Vice President Chris Ferguson, and to ensure that University of the Pacific is a national university, not a local university, not a regional university, a national university. We are designing new and better ways to operate while developing new partnerships and revenue-raising initiatives under the leadership of Vice President Ken Mullen. We are installing new computer systems to better serve our students, ensuring they have a seamless experience in any aspect of their Pacific lives, thanks to the Pacific Technology Team and Vice President Art Sprecher. We are growing attendance. Yes, we are growing attendance and school spirit at our athletic events, while our student athletes, our amazing student athletes, continue to perform at the very highest levels on the fields and in our classrooms under the leadership of Athletic Director Janet Lucas, our coaches, and her great team. We have new ways to communicate with Pacificans here and around the world, with new social media channels, along with new digital and print products, thanks to the leadership of Associate Vice President Marge Gray and her talented team. And we are about to finish our $300 million Leading with Purpose campaign, and we are developing plans to accelerate fundraising and partnerships under the vibrant leadership of new Vice President Scott Biederman. We are truly off to a great start. And there will be many more successes to come as we continue to work together. Importantly, let's remember who we are and how good this university is already. How we view ourselves is critical to our future success. And I have found many Pacificans to have a remarkable modesty about them. Some find that endearing. Some find that charming. I don't. I have to be honest. I often hear the phrase hidden gem in describing Pacific. So what if we all agree today that we vow to retire that phrase? This is an outstanding institution with an amazing history, great people, and forward-looking programs. We are California's first university. We are the first university in California to be coeducational. We are ranked in the top 100 among U.S. colleges and universities according to the Wall Street Journal and Times Higher Education, and in the top 20 of all colleges and universities in the American West. Our alumni have career earnings in the top 2% of all colleges and universities, eclipsing Ivy League schools and many of the other so-called elite universities. We are located in 3 fantastic cities in one of the most coveted regions of the world to live here in beautiful Northern California. We are University of the Pacific, and we should be Pacific proud. And working together, we will achieve our goal of becoming the best student-centric comprehensive university in the country within the next 10 years. More cowbell. Now, if I may end on a personal note, those of you who have not gotten to know Jean and me know that this is indeed a team effort. And I suspect many of you already know and are getting a sense of the impact Jean is already having on our great university. I just don't embarrass you, I embarrass her too. Jean and I are truly honored and humbled to be with you at Pacific as we embark on this new journey together. A journey that will transform this already excellent university, drawing on our rich past and traditions while creating new pathways through entrepreneurship and innovation to be the best university of our kind in the country. And we so look forward to taking that journey together with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Callahan, for your passion, for your vision, and for all that you'll do for our great university. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I wish to thank our platform party, distinguished guests, members of the university community, and everyone with us, in person and virtually, for helping to celebrate this very special occasion. We can't wait to see where this presidency takes Pacific in the years ahead. After the recessional is completed, please join us on the Ashley Walkway for a reception. And now, as the platform party recesses, I invite you to stand, cheer, and enjoy the Tiger Fight song. Thank you.
Leave your commencement folder on the stand. We'll collect them now. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. We'll see you when we see you. Okay.